The fifth type of tweet that you can do is you can ask people a question. And the beauty of this is it's going to make people very engaged because you're asking them for help or asking them for an opinion. And usually it's very easy for people to just want to participate when you do that. So that's awesome for your engagement. But there are a couple mistakes you need to avoid that are very common. First mistake people make is they use the Twitter poll feature. It seems nice because you think, oh, I'm going to give people choices, they just vote, and that's a nice experience. Voila. But the problem is, if you do this, people will vote, but they will not like your tweet. It rarely happens that they do both, I noticed. And they will not reply because they already voted. So you will have a tweet with very little engagement, almost no likes and almost no replies. So that's why when you see a big account do a questions, they very rarely do a poll. If you're not after growth, but just after knowledge or data, that's fine. But if you want to do both, like do a question that is both like something you're interested in to know, but also want to build your account and make it engaging and like something that people participate in, then avoid the poll feature. Because if you force people to reply, they will, and they will boost your tweet in the algorithm. Now, second point to keep in mind is if you ask someone an existential question like, what was something in your 20s that made you think of changing your life path? Okay, that's like a big, loaded, complicated question. How the fuck am I going to answer that? And if people need more than a couple seconds to reply, they will probably skip it. So make sure the question is simple enough, like what's your favorite marketing platform? If you're in the marketing niche or something like that would be a great question. But because it's easy to make it too complicated when you ask an open-ended question, I tend to prefer when I give people a choice. Like I tell people, which version do you prefer, A or B? Do you prefer this or that? And then they just have to reply with A or B or C or D or whatever, depending on the number of choices. And that's a great way to make it simple enough for people to reply and yet make it engaging so everybody starts replying. And then you have an amazing, engagement and boost on your tweet. One last thing is that I found the best questions, the one that bring me the most, quality followers and good relationships, is to ask for help. Like, for example, when I started doing this course, I was hesitating, what t-shirt should I wear? And I had a choice between a couple of t-shirts. So I, made a couple of screenshots and asked people, which t-shirt do you prefer, A, B, or C? And people were so happy to help me. I got hundreds of replies and tons of engagement. Now, a similar story happened to my wife when she was tweeting about a logo that she designed and she wanted to know which version people preferred. So when you do these kind of things, people want to help you. They want to give their opinion. The best type of questions I found is to ask something like where you're in doubt, like you have a question for yourself, what should I do? What should I go with? And something that's personal to you. Again, we are back to being personal. And when you do this, people will be very happy to engage and to reply to you and give you their perspective.